I found something really interesting while I was researching the biggest mistakes first-time board game designers make. You make mistakes everywhere. You can mess up your idea, your research, your mechanics. You can even mess up your first prototype. But none of those are the biggest mistake. There's one mistake that can keep a game that would have been great and not let it become the best version of itself. And the crazy part, a lot of first-time game designers will make this mistake even if they know better. So today we're going to check out the #1 mistake board game designers need to avoid. Let's check it out. Welcome to Faith in Board Games. My name is Tyler Collum, and thank you so much for joining me on my journey to design and eventually publish my first board game. We've already talked about the why I'm making the board game. We've laid out the roadmap, and we are now ready to get into the first phase of board game design. But before we get there, I wanted to take a moment and do something very important. I wanted to check out, what am I about to mess up? Because if there's one thing I've learned as I've grown up, it's always better to learn from other people's mistakes than your own. So I started doing some research into different mistakes that first-time board game designers make, and I found out that you can make mistakes all along the journey. Today we're specifically focusing on that first half of the journey, the design phase. There are plenty of mistakes that you can make all throughout phases 1 through 7, but one of those phases has the biggest mistake. Now, the mistakes made in phases 1 through 4 all have a common theme: doing too much before you actually do the thing. You can spend way too much time learning, researching, playing the game, studying books, all of these different factors that go into learning about board game design. And don't get me wrong, learning is very important. But eventually you gotta start putting what you're learning into practice. Now, the same thing can happen when you start thinking about your components, mechanics, themes, and concepts of the game you're designing. You can spend forever thinking about that perfect game in your mind, but eventually you just gotta make the thing. And that brings us to another huge mistake: overcomplicating the game. Just because you love worker placement, drafting, bluffing, bidding, dice rolling, roll and writes, and 12 other mechanics doesn't mean they all belong in the same game. Every mechanic needs a reason to exist in the first place. Some of the best games are that way because of their simplicity. The good games have a focus and they don't try to cram every kind of idea and mechanic into a game, which helps to create a cohesive experience for the player. So learn, think, experiment, but don't get stuck there. Eventually you gotta go ahead and just make that prototype. A big mistake I've seen from all these forums, Reddit posts, BGG forums, all of these places, once you get to that first prototype, don't spend months creating a ready to put on the shelf prototype. You're probably gonna just destroy it anyway, because that's what a prototype is for. They're supposed to be ugly, they're supposed to be cheap, they're meant to be changed and finagled with while you're crafting that perfect gaming experience. And that brings us to the biggest mistake, and that is not properly playtesting your game. Or, even worse, not utilizing your playtesting properly and even abandoning it if it feels uncomfortable. You can have the greatest idea in the world. You could put the best mechanics in the game, artwork looks amazing, best prototype somebody's ever seen. But if you're not playtesting it right, then you have no idea if you have a good game or not. You have to playtest your game. And that's not a single step, it is a process of testing. First, you gotta play it yourself. Check for broken mechanics on your own. See if the player powers are working together the way you thought they would, and really fine tune it behind the scenes before the game ever sees the light of day. Then when you feel satisfied with your experience, bring in your friends and family. Let them try it out with you. See what their reactions are at the table. Are they having fun? Does this make sense to them? Are they breaking the game in ways you never would have thought of? All the while taking notes, making changes, trying again and again and again. And then finally, once you get to the point where your friends and family aren't immediately breaking the game, then you bring in the people that don't care about your feelings. This is where you're going to go to your local game stores, conventions, maybe some online platforms like BGA or something like that, where you can get your game out to people that don't have any bias towards your feelings, don't mind telling you their true feelings about the game experience. And that's really where you're going to get your most valuable feedback to make the best changes possible to your game. And then once you're done with that, you're not quite done, because it's at that point where you have to take the biggest step, and that is giving your game away. Now calm down, you're not giving it away permanently yet, you're just taking a step back. You're giving the game away, giving the rules away, and seeing if these people can learn the game and play it with just the rule book. Not you there looking over their shoulder, holding their hands, and helping them with every question that they have, seeing if the game can stand on its own. And that's why, from the research that I've done, it seems that playtesting is the #1 mistake new game designers make, because they don't know the right questions to ask. And that's why, based on the research I've done, that the playtesting phase is the biggest mistake that first-time game designers make. Because you can fix a mechanic, simplify a rule, you can change components, but if you're not getting that game out to be play tested, you'll never know exactly what it is you need to fix. Now this was obviously just a quick version of phase 5 and some of the problems that you can come up with. There's still a lot more questions that need to be answered when we actually get to the play testing phase. Like, what should you test? What should you test with? What notes should I be taking? What questions should I even be asking? And the biggest question, how do you know when your game is actually ready to move forward? We're gonna get into that once we make it to phase 5. But for now, we are finally ready to move into phase 1. In the next episode, we're gonna be jumping into the different aspects of game design. And then we're gonna start putting those things together to start getting the beginning, and then from there we're going to start actually putting this thing together. Thank you so much for joining me on this journey here on Faith in Board Games.